I have another guest I want to introduce you today. I'm gonna let the Queen Mother introduce him to you. I'm gonna pass this over to the Queen Mother Goddess, our great Queen Mother Goddess, Lady Elaine Mega, who is DJing for us today. I want everybody to give our DJ a great round of applause, please. She's been here knocking it down here for us. She's holding it down. She even got some of her own cuts. I'm gonna let her do all the introduction here. Here you go, my Queen Mother.
How's everybody? How's everybody feeling? Welcome once again. So we have a very special guest for you today. This is Brother Sankofa. So Brother Sankofa is born and raised in Boston, Mass. His ability to articulate the socio-political conditions of black people from the Pan-Africanist perspective eventually landed him a position as national spokesperson for Black News 102, House of Consciousness, based in Harlem, New York. Brother Sankofa has also been proponent and an advocate of gang intervention initiatives in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. He is also a former member of the New Black Panthers Party. He is a proud soldier for the cause of black empowerment and achievements in our community. Introducing to you, Brother Sankofa.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much, sister. You're doing a great job on the ones and twos. I appreciate the beautiful introduction. Yes, people. Yeah, give it up, black people. You out here looking beautiful. You looking strong. Give yourself a round of applause. Because this is about us as a community. It's not about Brother Sankofa as an individual. It's not about the event itself. You is inclusive of all of us. All right? So I want to say first and foremost that it's a privilege and a great honor to be here, you know, in my town, right here, right now, amongst the family and amongst so many great proponents and pillars in the community. You know, I've traveled, I've been around over the years. I've been some places, but I can honestly say there's nothing like home. So it's definitely a privilege and an honor to be right back here in the 617 where it all started for me, okay? Yes, so I want to just say, hey. Take your time, take your time. I'm going to take my time, but I'm not going to take the people's time, my brother. And shout out to Brother Patar, you know, a brother who reached out to me, who for years have been a supporter of mine and a big brother and even a mentor, right, who saw fit to even have Brother Sankofa, your brother, as a part of this event today. And I want to thank you and say that I'm definitely honored, privileged, and humbled, you know, to definitely be here. You know what I'm saying? So thank you very much, Brother Patar, right? And yes, so an award ceremony, you know, this is what it's supposed to be too at this part, right? Okay, but I want to say the award for me is just being here. A tangible award that I can have is a good thing, but I think the reward is better than the award. The reward is being here with the people, building, bringing up that energy, that frequency that we need, because we in some trouble sometimes, people. The times that we are in, the events that we are seeing, the things that are happening before our eyes in the time that we're in is very critical, okay? So the knowledge is very important. It's important that we have a level of consciousness, because consciousness has to precede liberation on any level. There cannot be no liberation unless there is first a mental one, all right? Because the conditions that we are still affected by are a direct result of mental shackles. So it has to start there. Revolution and all that we talk about is good, but I'm not so much talking about the socio-political revolution always first. I'm talking about the center of how we can even get to that. It starts with the revolution within, because we are a product of, as a people, we are a product of intergenerational, psychological, right, colonialization. That is a process in order to liberate us and get us to any tangible, physical, long-term liberation that we can actually manifests in real time has the first start within the minds. The battle is for the heart and the minds right now. So there are people who are not even in a battle, who are not aware of the battle, and when you don't even know that you're at war, you're already lost the war. There are proponents of us who know that we're at war, but they're not really engaged in it. There's a lot of escapism. You know what I'm saying? So being theoretical is a great thing, but getting into the practicalities in order to bring about tangible things that we need, because we have a tangible, real opposition, is what the whole purpose and functionality of what consciousness in any school of thought that we are in is supposed to be. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be revolutionary. When I say revolutionary, look at the component and the construct of the word. It's composed of two words, re and evolutionary. Evolve means to transcend or to go to a more advanced state of being or existence. To re means to repeat, to do over. So the only thing that stays the same is change, right? Things are always changing around us, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But in order to constantly be adept to deal with the changes, to overcome oppositional changes, the changes that are being created around you in opposition to you, long-term around you, you must have a re-evolutionary mindset. You must be always learning and evolving, because the only thing that stays the same is change. So re-evolving ourselves internally, mentally, the way we think, what we eat, what we drink, all those things are determining factors to where we are psychologically. And as a community, for people who has been intergenerationally shackled, right, and products of disproportionate distribution of wealth and privilege, right, this is just facts. This is not looking in the past and playing the enemy as the boogeyman, but in order to, just the same way when you go to a doctor, in order for him to properly assess or treat you, or give you the antidote or the cure that you need, he has to assess what causes the sickness. How did the sickness come to be in order to eradicate the sickness? So we have social, political, economic, spiritual sicknesses that has been eradicating us intergenerationally. So we have to understand the dynamics and the root causes of those things. We have to expose the contradictions, but we have to know what they are at first. Like I said, if you don't even know that you're at war, you've already lost. But when you know that you are at war, but you're not strategizing or planning or re-evolving, right, you fall short of a potential of even engaging in the war successfully. But when you know yourself, you know your opposition, you know history, but mostly you're not just caught up in the past and full of hatred and hatred. You're full of stratagem, confidence, you know what I'm saying, a re-evolved mindset. You have an agenda, an objective, you know what I'm saying? That way we can at least have a chance in a balanced way and on an even more even playing field anyway, to have successful victories in battles in this journey, because it is a journey. Okay, life is a journey, not a destination. So all we are at this point is being who we are and becoming who we are meant to be as we constantly evolve and grow in our lifetime and our own experiences. Okay, so yeah, I want to also say this too, because bringing things into fruition tangibly has to happen in stages. A lot of times we are theoretically talk about the things that we do need, and we should, because that's where it starts. Everything starts as a blueprint or a thought before it becomes a manifested reality, right? So we got to constantly ponder, think about, blueprint things in order to recalibrate our thinking, decaucasianize our minds, right? Decalcify our pineal gland, all that stuff. There was a process to make us this way, and you will fall short of the glory if you don't think that there was a process to undo that which was done to us. You know what I mean? So we already know there's different laws of reality that govern us, right? There's the law of vibration. There's the law of gestation, meaning everything takes places in stages and in times and in phases and stages and all that stuff, right? So everything is being what it is, but it is becoming at the same time. You know what I mean? So follow me, walk with me, people. So I'm gonna say like there's something, you know, we know is the great law of karma. Some people marginalize karma to just mean something that's bad or a curse. No, karma, it just means something that happens as a result of cause and effect, action, reaction. So it can be negative or positive depending upon the karma that you put out, or the energy or the frequency that you're vibrating on, right? You're definitely a sum total of your own experiences, where you are and where we are collectively as a community and as individuals. So that's Comm, known as the Great Law. You also have the law of responsibility, meaning your actions have sovereignty over your destiny. You know what I'm saying? Your actions have sovereignty, meaning control and rule over your destiny. So that's the law of responsibility, always being responsible and aware of the things that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Beforehand. You know, you have the law of focus. You cannot think of two things at one time. The law of focus. You can't think. What I mean by that, I don't mean you can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. That's easy. What I mean, we can't think of two things at the same time. So you can't think about success and failure. You can't think about winning and defeat. You can't be a pessimist and an optimist at the same time. So the law of focus would dictate that you would have to, like the scriptures say, not to get scriptural, but like what the brother just said and expressed, I use the Bible sometime, you know, where it's pertinent and it's in context. So it says no man can serve two masters. So when you can't serve defeat and winning, you can't serve pessimism and optimism, you can't serve the idea of winning and losing all at the same time. You have to serve one thing is going to master you or the other. Self-defeat is going to master you, or self-improvement or self-advancement is going to master you. That is the law of focus, because no man can serve two things, okay? You can't just divide your thoughts like that, right? Then is the law of here and now. The law of here and now, meaning we are here and now. We exist in real time. We can talk about ancient Kemet, and we should, because we are connected to that and many of our great empires throughout Africa, right? But the here and now would dictate we shouldn't always just dwell in the past, even if it's our own individual life, not just history, not just historicity, which is great because we have to be connected with our roots because we can't produce the proper fruits. So we got to know the history, but the here and now means you don't just only steadily look in the past, in a negative way that is, unless we're looking in the past only with the idea and the intention of moving forward from it. Henceforth the name Sankofa, like what my name or attribute is, to look back and fetch it. So you don't only just look at about our greatness, we don't just romanticize about our glory years, we look at and see how we've made mistakes, where we need self-improvement at, where we need to check ourselves at. You know what I mean? What we may need to separate ourselves from, or what we might need to align ourselves from with. You see what I'm saying? So these are all things, the law of here and now. Then is the law number 5. There are way more laws than this, by the way, but I ain't got all day, and that'll take eternity to cover that. But there is also the law of patience and reward. And what does patience and reward dictate? Patience and reward dictates that nothing that was worth having or obtaining never just took place easily, okay, or just fast. It always took time. So you have to persevere. You have to stay focused. You have to go through trial and errors, ups and downs, hills and valleys, highs and lows, all that kind of stuff before you get to somewhere and have an understanding, a foundation, some legs to stand on, and some maturity in that. You know what I mean? So it is very incumbent and important that we stay focused, that we have an objective, that we have long-term agendas, because the knowledge is great, but we are at war. So if the knowledge is not applied in times, the war is economic, it's political, it's academic, it's spiritual, it's on so many levels of people activity, and a lot of us are falling short of the glory or completely losing on every level. Because as black folks, there's a saying, we are the only people who are in a battlefield acting as if we're on a playground. We're the only people that is on a battlefield right now, socially, politically, economically speaking. We are at war, right? And Operation Depopulation and Elimination is in effect. This isn't boogeymanism. This is reality. And those who fail to see that as a reality and utilize the knowledge not only just to feel inspired, which we should, because there are psychological necessities that is needed for healing, and to give us that which we need to face the world with some kind of psychological, cultural continuity and pride. You need to have that. But we also need to have knowledge where we use it to weaponize, or at least defend ourselves for those who are weaponizing politics, economics, and their agendas and objectives against us. Because if we don't, we are counter-revolutionary, and we are aiders and abettors in our own demise by default. So get right or get left. Fall behind in an ever-evolving and advancing world that has already trying to blueprint writing you out of existence. So my whole purpose and functionality of knowledge is to utilize it for empowerment, for inspiration, also for long-term objectives, because the whole purpose and functionality of knowledge is to inform, it is to educate, it is to inspire, it is to advance, but at the end of it, and most important in the nucleus of that, is the whole purpose and functionality of knowledge is for self-preservation, which is the first law of nature. So you're out of contact with nature if we're not utilizing knowledge outside of the context or the narrative of feeling good. We can go to church for that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go to church, but I think we need to cover more bases than just the feel-goodism. We need to cover a lot of uncomfortable truths, and we need to organize, because if not, we are aiders and abettors in our own demise. I love us more than we hate ourselves sometimes, and that's why I'll always continue to put my head out there and learn things so I can become a better soldier, more worthy student, to become a brother of yours or a comrade of yours, or somebody who can network with you as we mobilize forward in this journey called life, right? And we don't always want to be thinking about the revolution so much, where we're walking around always mean mugging and like we got a mouth full of lemons and all super militant. No, that's where my art comes in. Balance. Balance. Meditate. Read. Listen to good music. Exercise. Get fit. Stress and bad health are two of the biggest killers in our communities, besides fratricidal homicide. If you look at the numbers of people dying from things directly related to stress and our diet habits, which have psychological and colonial roots to it too, but we can go into that, but that's another topic for another day, is we got our work cut out for us. And you got to have a labor of love for this, where regardless, you know what I'm saying, where I am, I always am who I am. You know what I mean? No matter what exterior thing that I wear, even though a lot of times what you wear exterior is a reflection of how you think internally, right? But a lot of times we gotta start to look beyond just the surface of things, because a lot of times it's not what you have on, it's what you have in. You see what I'm saying? That's right. I'm just trying to put some paint where there ain't, say things in a way that some people just can't. I'm just trying to give you charity and a form of mental clarity. I just hope that you're hearing me. That's right, because I love us, all right? And I just want to say it's a pleasure and an honor to be here and have your attention for the short time that I did have it. I want you to support and subscribe to Baba TV, which I am one of the spokespersons for. Baba has been a good friend of mine. He's the big, tall brother in the back at the camera. Can't miss him. As a big brother, we have a lot of videos over the years in different cities with different initiatives that we did, from boots on the ground initiatives up in the Bronx with gang prevention and intervention with my former team that we had called Uniteam up in Eden Wall Projects in the Bronx. So we have videos down in Washington, D.C. to all over. We get around. He's been up here in Boston a lot of times and brought a lot of the gems and the jewels and the historic landmarks that are oftentimes underspoken about, undermentioned, and underrepresented. He's been a proponent of making sure that information gets out to the world. So please give Baba a big, strong black hand for his contributions in informing our people. Truth ain't popular, but we gotta make it popular. See, you can be your own paparazzi now. They can't just completely, because we have to even revolutionize media. We have to be a revolutionary with anything, understand the mechanics of the words now, that we get into. Meaning for our best interest, for advancement, right? Because now you could be the paparazzi. You got TikTok, right? We got YouTube, We got Facebook, you got social media. So a lot of times, show you strong, show yourself intelligent, show your creativity, show the opposite of what the machine always constantly promotes us as, to psychologically keep us shackled towards, to get us to aspire towards degeneracy that's going to bring out our demise. We even got to revolutionize or support revolutionary black media. And I support those who support that, all right? And I ain't gonna hold you too long, I just had to be real strong, all right? Like my brother Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad would say. I wanna say thank you for having me here, all right? Love y'all, and make sure y'all support the vendors. We got the vendors out here before I exit the stage too. Salute to the vendors for coming out here with all your wares, your great food, and your attire and creativity, right? I'll support the culture by supporting your own. And by doing that, you're supporting yourself, all right? I love y'all, and peace, love, and light. Stay woke, stay fly, and stay dope. Peace.